All right, the button's hit, man. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's me and Sky again, and what's the day here, brother?
It is almost October.
It's almost October. Yeah, that's about as much as I can say about the freaking date. It's September 30th.
Oh yeah. There you go. Almost, yeah. Tomorrow's October 1st.
I think.
Rest of the month.
I think today might be Amber's birthday. My cousin Amber's birthday, I think. All right. What's up?
I know. I'm like, are we still in Libra or Virgo season? Are we in Scorpio?
In what? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Never mind. Yeah.
I think July is Cancer.
Well, we're not in July, but yeah.
I don't even know how that all works. I would like to look
into that. I mean, Virgo, it might be still Virgo. I don't know. Forget about it, guys. Just popped in my head, like, times are changing. I mean,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I got out of work this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was kind of cold out.
Yeah.
It was chilly. I was just like, oh yeah, the season's changing. So we're starting to get cold. You can start wearing your long sleeves and putting your pants back on. I've been rocking shorts this whole time.
Yeah, you gotta start practice earlier because the sun is going down quicker.
Oh yeah.
Playing in the dark.
Yeah. I always liked that. That was always interesting. How the sun stays out longer. It'd be like, I think at some point this year it was 8 o'clock at night and the sun was still out.
Yeah, that's a trip. Well, what's trippy is in some places, like, the sun's out for, like, just a couple hours and then it's gone.
Yeah, right? Isn't it like a whole entire month in Alaska or something where it's just nighttime? It's just dark?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to try it, but I don't know if I could live in that type of...
You know, that would probably be scary, like on a grand scale of like, or maybe this is my thinking is if I were in that, you know the saying it's classic is like the darkness before the dawn, like another day is coming, like there's all these, I guess, idioms about night turning into daylight and everything becoming better.
Yeah.
I think after a while that would start to get to me like, fuck, it's not getting dark. It's not getting brighter. It's so dark and it's probably
it's like, it's more darkness.
Yeah. So I think that'll get to me. It'll start getting twitchy or something. Oh man, I'm freaking out on all this new volume. Like I was rubbing my chin just now. I could hear the hair like moving on the mic, and right now I'm breathing. I can hear like my lungs inside my chest. Like,
yeah,
this is a little overwhelming. Okay, all right. So let's get to it. Are you still set on the subject that you brought up?
Yeah, I think maybe just.
So
concepts kind of are labels and.
Well, you texted me earlier and you said marriage, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, I'm just curious what made you choose that. Like what? I'm just curious. Did something happen and made you go, let's talk about marriage, or?
What? I'm trying to think. I I really don't know. Something that it's something that always kind of happens, or not happens, but you hear about it, or like somebody's connected to somebody because they're married, and even in like politics, it's just sometimes it seems like that's its own little club in society, and then it becomes, are you in that club or not?
Yeah.
So, and then I always don't wrestle with the concept, but just kind of, again, maybe hearing what you thought about it, but
Well,
how, I guess, what is it? Is it like, maybe my thoughts on it, because I don't see myself getting married, but then.
Would you say? All right, go ahead.
I don't know. So a lot of times it's like, maybe that's my own evaluation or judgment, but it's like, you got to finish high school, you got to graduate college, or you got to reach these milestones, and marriage is
a milestone.
It's not one of them, but maybe it is. It is. I don't know, by certain standards, but it's like, if I get married, nothing. I mean, things change, but it's not like, I guess what changes, because I don't know. There's just kind of maybe misconceptions about it, or
yeah, it's.
I don't know.
It seems to be changing.
Your thoughts, because I have nothing against it. I think it's awesome, but then again, it's also not awesome. I don't know. I suggested it because I want to hear your thoughts on it, because we talk about this kind of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't feel I'm forced to be married, but kids is kind of a thing with the family.
You mean children, like having kids and marriage?
No. I mean, like, that being one of those milestones, like you become a father, you have kids. So, but to me, that's kind of associated with marriage sometimes. So
yeah, it's almost expected.
I don't know. That's why I said why I brought it to the.
That's why you brought it up.
Yeah.
Well.
What is it? What is it?
Well, the way I think about it, it's like its origins. Let's start there. Is like a man-made concept. You know what I mean? Like I don't know who's the first or whatever. It's probably always been some kind of, like, even when you go, like, I'm always thinking back down the trail of DNA, like, and evolution, and I start thinking back, like, how animals, or even in the beginning of life on Earth, I always think what kind of ceremonies were present then. Like, I don't know, marriage is a funny thing to think about. Like, it's a man-made concept, but like it's expected of everyone. Like, we're all part of this society that's grown out of the earth. It's out of animals, and even now in what we consider modern times, even in these modern times, a very old concept of staying together with one person for the rest of your life and having children and all that, whatnot, or not, is still alive today.
Mm.
So I kind of think of culture too as like a evolving, progressive thing. Hopefully progressive. We step back all the time, but I think like culture, what we've progressed to, like where we're at right now, is the end result of evolution, and some parts of culture that are no longer needed get cut away, and they no longer exist, or they're no longer practiced, or nobody speaks of them. They didn't make it, they didn't make the cut. And marriage, for whatever reason, is still here, still part of the culture.
Yeah.
So must be necessary, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not as old as the concept of just partnering and mating together like animals.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
huh.
maybe marriage is a way of ceremonializing that connection. The animalistic. I'm always talking about how we're still kind of animals. We're just wearing clothes and speaking English or whatever languages. And I don't know.
I don't know. You kind of just.
So that's my big picture that I think about.
Okay.
And then what it means to me. I always think about my parents. Like, they're always the example to me. Like, everybody's example is their parents. What's going on with them? And my parents have been married. I don't even know how long. I think they were in their 30s. I know it's over 30 years. I almost want to say they're getting close to 40. Like, I was trying to do the math in my head. I think they've been married almost 40 years. And
were they married like before you were born?
Oh yeah.
Oh dang.
So I'm 34. And shit.
I mean, even that idea, like, I mean, I don't. Maybe it doesn't sound that glamorous to you, but like son born of this. Your parents had that union even way before you were a thought.
Yeah.
And you come from that holy connection. I don't know. I mean,
you mean like?
I don't know if you see it that way, but the way you're describing it, and I guess maybe the way I see it is like, yeah, it's something pretty. I mean, it's a contract. You sign it, and you're obligated to it, and like that. Like, I don't want to. Are you a product of that? But I mean, I don't know. It's just cool. But continue.
It sounds like you're romantic about it. And you think that I'm not romantic about it because I'm talking about it in like this huge.
No. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out.
Approach, like I can't help that I think like a scientist, and so my brain works. Like, that's how I approach everything in my life. And yeah, well, all right. So my parents have been together that long, and it's shown me that marriage is forever.
Oh.
Like, I don't know, and I don't mean that in a downtrodden way. I mean like forever. You get with this, you join with this person, and through thick and thin, you're just together because they've been through thick and thin, and good times and bad times. I remember a lot of it, all of it. I remember all of it. And marriage, man, like everybody, I think it's a big commitment. I think it's important to make that choice, or not, to not make it lightly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Do you want to be? Do you want to be married, Sky? What do you think about it? One day. Is there a hope? Like, I mean, is there a hope? You called it a milestone.
Not I think it's a general human milestone, not my milestone.
Oh.
Maybe, but I think the way I'm living my life is kind of, it's a lot to ask for somebody, so I wouldn't say like, oh, they're around the corner and shit, but it's just something that does come up, like family-wise. I think that even, you know why I brought it up?
Why?
Why I suggested it? You know, I actually was watching this movie, and it was this Western movie, and it was about this guy that inherited a ranch from his dad that passed away, and you know, he pretty much got this big herd of cattle and all these workers, but he tried to come at the people that are working the ranch like a badass, but he kind of really wasn't, and anyways, there's a love interest in the film who you know, they fall in love, whatever, he treats her nice and she wants to be with him, but when he starts to kind of like treat the people like shit, you know, she doesn't want to kind of be with him. But he's all into this new sense of power and, you know, kind of being this cattleman, and it's just the fun. It was a part of the film where the girl was like, "I'm done with you, fuck you," and then she saw him like being successful, and it was kind of like, yeah, I'm still stuck with my decision, but the mom was like, you know, you should have been with him, and it was just kind of like, I don't know if they got back together. I can't remember, but it was just, you know, that's a funny thing how they wanted to be married at some point, but then you learn about somebody who they are, you know, we're all flawed and shit, and then suddenly it's like, fuck you, I don't want my name attached to you.
Yeah.
But what I think about marriage is kind of like legacy, and you're trusting someone to hold your legacy for you.
Legacy.
Yeah. So sometimes I don't really understand that, but it feels like that's what I think it means. You know what I'm saying?
What are you calling the legacy? Like,
my name. Like,
so they're
the name.
The name. No.
But yeah, I mean, what that? I mean, that is that. You think that's like impossible, or
what?
Even doesn't, maybe don't make sense.
I must have missed some part of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe my concept.
Well, you're saying that ultimately you think it's you're making a partnership with somebody to carry on your legacy?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just looking into what you said here and your questions. I'm like, like.
I mean, not to be a diva, but I hope my fucking legacy.
Yeah. Oh man. So I was debating whether or not to talk about it, but might as well. I wore a ring for a while. And, it was interesting. Like many events in my life, I had a concept of what it might be like when I was when I didn't have it, and then I thought about what life would be like with it, and who I would be, how I would be, and once you come to the event and it happens, then you find out, you know, how you handle it, who you are, what it's all about. Much like the word love and the word marriage and legacy and
wow.
So what came to my mind instantly was actually physically wearing the ring, you know, and having people see it and knowing everyone knows this is what that means, and then after knowing that, what are you doing? I can actually hear now, man. What are you doing?
Oh, my sorry. I was moving this paper.
Sounds like you're like picking up a car door and like slamming around or something.
My bad.
No, it's crazy. It's the way I hooked up the headphones this time. I can hear everything. It's crazy.
Extra sensitive.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if that's how it's been this whole time, and I just didn't realize it because I had crappy headphone wear.
I mean,
I think I lost my.
You got me thinking of Seinfeld, how I can't remember who it is, but George, he puts on a ring or he wears a wedding band, and suddenly he's more desirable because he's not. I don't know. Like
I just thought about the show.
The magic of the ring, you know. I mean, that too. I mean, that sounds fun.
Was that the same one where he was all saying "my wife" about that chick he was dating? Is that in the same episode, or was it?
It might be. I mean, there's a part where he's engaged, which is kind of, you know, a tough concept, and maybe that's what it is too. Is, you know, you're kind of giving something up, or yeah. I mean, you're not. I guess on the market on them anymore.
Choose your words carefully, Mike.
No, but that was sort of how they played some of the things he went to as he was engaged. Was suddenly he had offers and he had to be truthful, which was, I guess. I mean, isn't that kind of too what it is too? It's being truthful.
It's commitment and monogamy to your partner, your spouse, your fiance, and well, when I think about it, I always go to this one moment when I was at work, and I was out in the garden area and I was watering the plants. And as I was watering them, the ring was a little bit big on my finger, just a little bit, and it slipped off, and it like went tumbling down the sidewalk, and I was like, oh shit! I went running after it, and I'm chasing it. I got like this panic, like, oh man, I gotta pick up my commitment. Like, I dropped my commitment. You gotta run after it, and and so like that dread that I felt, like it's like
you screwed up.
it's like, oh man, like that's how much was riding on it. When really I was just chasing this, ring down the sidewalk, like a jewelry. But I guess it's more than that, but I was running after it, and that's how much I was thinking about it, like how heavy a concept it is to me, like how weighted it is, and how it's important it is. And I don't know, like that's what I was thinking about. I kept, while we were talking, I was seeing myself running down the sidewalk trying to get this ring. So yeah, and I was thinking how good it felt to like, all right, I've shown. Well, when I gave the ring, it was to show how serious I was. It was like, this is where I'm at, in my mind. And it was like, it was to show her and to show everybody, like, here, wear this, be with me. And it definitely changed me, and it was for the good. It felt good and comfortable and felt right, and it may be many things to different people. Like earlier you were talking about forced marriage. I think you said something earlier about having to marry, and I thought about the arranged marriages.
That too.
Yeah.
I was tripping out. Like now they have like prenups. Like if you get a divorce, like a contract that shit doesn't go right. Like the president's wife, like pretty much had to like renegotiate her prenup before she agreed to move in the White House. I think. I mean, that's just what I heard, but. I mean, it's still like.
Wait, who did that?
Trump's wife.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I had heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but just like, I guess then again, like when you say romanticizing it, certain parts of it seem romantic. But then other parts seem more business.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well...
In that sense, I'm not saying...
Yeah, no, I ran into that at the hospital. It was people having trouble getting to see their partner while they're in the hospital because they weren't married and they weren't family relatives, so it was like they were having a lot of trouble. Or maybe it wasn't that. They were seeing their partner, but they were having trouble having access to information and being able to make choices for the patient, for their partner, and a lot of it was based off of marriage.
Wow. But let me ask you this: is it wrong if? Because I see this a lot too, where like maybe someone from Canada or wants to be in the U.S. so they, get married. I know that's maybe an ethic thing, or it's maybe bad, but if you're helping somebody out, I don't know. Like, I guess, again, not doing it for wrong reasons, but yeah. Is that wrong?
Wait.
It's almost like a business. The way these get used in that sense, there's like a one-time business transaction that you cash out, but...
Are you talking about people with green cards?
Maybe. I think I'm just talking about like you're a citizen or wherever. You want to live in the country, so you marry somebody in the States, but then they're only helping you. They're not really, like there's certain parts of the marriage that aren't what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, they aren't sexy. They aren't romantic. Although I don't think we've mentioned anything sexy or romantic besides, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, when you put it like the good and the bad.
Can we talk about the bad here? I kind of want to.
If you want, I mean, not because my mom and dad were married, but they weren't, you know, together. Well,
yeah.
You know, maybe that's where my confusion comes from. But
well, what confusion?
I know there's a lot of bad. There's a lot of bad.
Well, yeah, like.
So I mean, if you want to talk about it. We can talk about it.
We got time. We're 30 minutes in.
So what is it like? Bad to where you don't want to be married, or bad where it's like, oh, this is a part of it.
Wait, what?
You say bad.
Oh, well, I think there's levels, you know. So let's talk a very simple and obvious bad. Some young hot lady with some really old rich guy. That's marriage. They get married. He dies. She gets the money. Or he.
Oh yeah.
And that happens too. And so bad. All right. And then there's arguing all the time. You know. And people are married. They're together. They're under the same roof and they're around each other all the time. They start to butt heads. It happens. You know, attitudes collide. Personalities collide, and there's a whole nasty side to it, you know. Getting one up on the other. You know, there's abuse out there. There's neglect, and there's no love, no connection, no affection, I don't know. There's a ton of bad. But like I always step back when you start thinking about that. You go, there's bad everywhere. All right, there's good and bad, and I think whenever you make a decision for like marriage, you're hoping for the good. You're doing it for the good. You know what I mean? Like you're shooting for the good. And for whatever reason people either get it or don't get it. Work hard enough for it or don't work hard enough for it. And when it comes down to it, they either get what they want or not. And for some people that marriage is absolutely forever, even through really terrible times. And other times marriage is bliss, where everything works out. But if we're being real, I think the light at the end of the tunnel, the big goal, I would bet the majority of it is mostly good. Like, what people should be really shooting for is the reality, which is mostly good. You want to act like it's always going to be perfect, or to, you know, shoot only for perfection, that can lead to the end of a marriage. You know, that need for it to always be better, and sometimes you got something good, and I mean like good, and you hope that lasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I mean, hell, there's people who aren't married and probably never will marry, but they've been together. Which, again, I think is really about that union, that partnership.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I've seen, like, people that are married, they're not personally, but just...
Oh, that hurts my ears.
My God. Damn. You gotta be sad. You gotta be quiet with this. Like, maybe they'll have a fight or something, and then they'll stay mad at them for a long period
yeah.
of time.
Just holding that grudge.
And, yeah, the silence. It's weird though, it's like you can still be, someone's there, but kind of build a wall.
Yeah.
To just, for it to still be separate.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess maybe all of that is maybe too much to even want to dabble with. But then, like, I think of where there's partnerships where they almost like become a team versus still having your separate personalities. I mean, I guess that's always going to be there, but then, like, if there's something you guys build together,
yeah,
and maybe that's where, obviously, families, but
yeah,
we should do some research. Because I think, I mean, even that too, like, we're talking about the Tempest and how these guys are stranded on a island, and suddenly another ship breaks down, and there's these other people that are there now, and they're able to swindle one of the guys to marry the daughter, and suddenly they have their citizenship again, and they're able to go back to, you know, where they were originally at before they, you know, got outlawed. So it's like, I don't know. Again, it's that sort of, not a business transaction, but kind of how your situation changes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, how the play was resolved was, you know, they got married, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of ruining the play, but, but then again, it's still kind of like, maybe that's the romanticizing of it, but at the end of the play, the Miranda, I think his name's Ferdinand, they're playing chess, and, you know, that was kind of like, I don't know if it was like a representation of marriage, or what, but it was like, their minds, intellects were kind of. Well, that's why I think of chess sometimes, where you're kind of almost going brain to brain. But to be doing that with now your spouse, it was almost on it was that kind of seemed like romantic, but it didn't show the marriage, so you don't really know if it was what you were saying, like, there's a lot of other shit that happens in marriages where, yeah, it can start off nice, but
yeah,
there's a lot of doors in that house. I think too, in a lot of films, or I don't know, the way they portray like marriage on sitcoms. I don't know. It's just we've seen it since like the cartoons, like Flintstones. I don't know, to where.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
I don't know. Were they selling it, or were they making you critical of it? Because when I think about sitcoms, maybe it's just a common theme where the husband's kind of dumb and the wife's kind of more smarter, but because the husband works, they're equal. I don't know. I'm talking on my ass, but I think of the Flintstones,
The Flintstones. Why is that? What do you think about?
I don't know, because it's like primitive kind of in a sense, but going into modern.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a guy. He works. He has a boss. He's always trying to impress us, and his wife gives him advice, but ultimately kind of goes off of his own. I mean, even his friend is like, it's like he's kind of the model for marriage, where he's their relationship. I don't know. Maybe I'm just diving too deep into the Flintstones.
That's a great concept.
But
I wasn't even thinking about it that way. Yeah.
But it's a house that's married. They got a family, right?
They even got the dog.
Yeah. It's that.
What
concept, or that almost what you're not gonna get, but I don't know where I'm going.
What were some of Barney's traits that made him the model?
Because
it's interesting. You're saying they were feeding us this as kids, or you said maybe. And,
yeah.
What were some of Barney's traits? I mean, I think he was always happy and nice, right? Like no matter what happened, and
he wasn't a tough guy. Like,
no, he wasn't a tough guy.
No, and he kind of seemed like he had more, wisdom, but because Fred was the alpha male, whatever, or again, that whole, the husband is dumb, but you know what I'm saying?
I think the old school, the guys were always angry too. The more like the older school versions of the family, always yelling, swinging the fist, the iron fist, ruling the family with the iron fist.
Right.
And it's changed, but even in our kid shows in the Flintstones, he was always yelling, and wasn't he fighting too, like dinosaurs? And I feel like I've seen him fight. Getting mad, rolling up his sleeve. Well, I guess he didn't have sleeves, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, not to get off topic of being brainwashed, but it's just sort of
like
maybe because that whole family, even think of The Simpsons.
yeah.
That's like that same model.
Yeah, you're right.
Marge is the more intelligent one, right, out of Homer.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mrs. Bouvier.
Yeah, but she don't. Well, I don't know. She don't work, right? I mean, she's just home chilling with Lisa, Marge, and Maggie. I don't know. I'm not even a big fan of The Simpsons. But
oh.
And they were married.
That's, I don't know. Let's go off topic. All right, I don't know. I'll just start getting into government placement of the family values and whatnot. Yeah, I keep thinking back of about like everything I've seen as a kid and how it's changed to today. You know, the male figure, the like what the male figure is portrayed as in you know, in everything we see, we're saturated with this is the model male. Oh, and the
role.
Well, you know, male and female.
Oh yeah.
And,
well, again, the role.
Yeah, playing.
They're playing. Yeah, no, that's.
I always go back to capitalist society. Like all this stuff, like the model male, model female. It's all based off of consumerism. Like it's an image created to sell shit. And that's how our society works here. It's like based off of you know, exchange of goods and services, and part of that model includes marriage.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that was another like joke about it where like there's a show. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still a show. Like the Bridezilla, like the day where. Or the time frame where a wife or fiance can be like all bitchy, and I mean that's how they portray it and sell it, like this big event where you spend a lot of money, you know, it's a lot of cash being poured in, and I don't know. I mean, it is a business for some people, you know, that are. The DJs, the caterers, the cooks, the flight attendants, if you gotta fly. I mean, think about it, so depending on the situation, a lot's riding on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm just sitting here. It's fuck, man. I don't know. It comes down to who you are and what you want, and you know, I think hopes, you know, and dreams, they kind of run everything. You know, it's like our desire to have things, or to have a partner, or to have kids or pets or whatever, and we base, even as children, you know, like I said, like we're saying here, we're getting exposed very early on to this concept, And then you grow up, and even as a kid, you have hopes and dreams like, oh, I want that. I want that, or I don't want that. And there is all this negative, and there is the fact that there's, it's a man-made concept. And in the end, we still want it. It's like I said before, it's still part of society. It's still like a practice thing. It hasn't fallen by the wayside after all these years. And I think in the end, when it comes for time for someone to decide whether or not they want to get married, the answer's in them, who they are, what they want, and those hopes and dreams that run everything. The stuff that makes us do what we do. Whether you're earning money or traveling or whatever, you're basing it on something, some kind of hope or dream.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the rest of all that stuff is bullshit. I think it's the union.
Yeah.
The union of
it should be.
Yeah, like it gets all of it gets buried under all these big ideas and commercials and bullshit. There's a bunch of bullshit out there.
Yeah, well, I think that there's so many. I mean, even I've heard on The Office, they talk about how much you spend on a ring or an engagement ring. And I don't know, just a lot of
yes,
that they sell you. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the minutia, man. It's easy for people to get caught up in that. That people get swept up like they're bridezilla. It's like, Jesus Christ, what's all this rage about? You're supposed to be doing something beautiful together, and instead you're blowing your wad right there, putting it all out there on the one day, betting it all, and then blowing up and getting real nasty, when really it's about the union, it's about partnering, and we forget that. As a people, we forget that, and we fucking dive head first and spend a shit ton of money and get distracted as time passes. You get distracted and you start forgetting why you did it. You forget you forget your partner. You forget that you're teamed up. Yeah.
My mom watches the show. It's pretty much arranged marriages, but but they're both agreeing to it. A lot of it seems weird. Doesn't really seem sincere, but it's a show. It's a reality show, reality TV. That's what they call it nowadays. But a lot of it's very much seems scripted, But I mean that playing with that concept of, again, the business transaction. I keep saying that, but it almost seems like that. Let's see what I could do on my go around. Because I remember I met somebody that had been married 7 times. And it wasn't a thing, it was just kind of but you can do that. I guess, but you're free to do that. I mean, to each his own. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's just, I guess if you want to do it, you can pretty much get it done, but the commitment part is where I think what you're talking about gets put to the side. But yeah,
I think we're close, basically. I think we've said enough so far.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have any final thought about it? I think I asked you earlier, and I don't think you answered.
What was it?
Or do you hope to be married one day?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, there's sometimes people are together, but they never do get married.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't see it happening in the near future. But I'm not a psychic. What about you? Final thoughts?
I'm almost scared to.
What did you take away from this? What did you learn? What did I teach you? What did I show you?
I think you helped me. Well, you brought.
Did I ruin it?
We both have brought up in our own ways some of that negative stuff, and I've seen some of that negative stuff, and I think even beyond that, like whenever you see something bad, it's or you realize something's bad, or you even think something's bad, you go, all right, well, I'm not going to be that, Something you deem as bad, you tell yourself, I'm not going to be that. And that's the hope, man, is to maybe experience that and do it better, do good for yourself and to get what you're looking for. And I think all I can say is maybe too. And I think one thing you helped me realize is you helped me kind of rake through the bullshit, get some of it off. The whole, I came into this conversation not thinking what I would say. I was I don't, holy crap, what do I think? And I think you've maybe helped me, tear away the surface, get all the bullshit off, wipe it down, and get all the concepts of good and bad and idealism and traditions or whatever. And it really just comes down to the union. I've realized this about marriage. So yeah, I think this has actually renewed my hope for the union. I
didn't say that. I didn't say none of that.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, I think bouncing that, what it meant, it's sort of okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That's kind of in the ballpark for what I was thinking. I don't know, but even the culture you come from, I think, or there might be a pressure from the family to. I'm not saying that with anybody, but I think some cultures where it's you need to get married, you need to you need to have kids, you know, or you need to find a husband, you know. It's always that. I was thinking too, like, you know, someone you gotta, like how they tell that to girls, like, you need to do this to be able to get something, or to get, you know, you gotta be able to, I don't know, there's always these things, like, you gotta be able to cook, you gotta be able to clean, but feels like it's put more on the females than males in the sense of, I don't remember any cliches like that. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm going off topic again, but
no.
Hearing your thoughts on it is sort of okay.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, you helped me get there. Like I said, I came into this without a clue what to say. But I was like, I bet I could come up with something. And I've actually come out with the concept. An understanding of why I would ever go back, you know?
Yeah.
Why anybody would.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the hope and the union.
Beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Well, everybody, this is, what is it? What episode is this?
I don't know.
I looked at the numbers, and I think we're either 16 or 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's call it right now, huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, be safe in those streets.
Yeah. Also, I had to say the photo that we've attached to this video is by your brother, right?
I haven't seen the video, but yeah, I think so.
Well, it's the one with the stop sign.
Oh yeah. That's my brother, Ronnie.
Ronnie James Anto, right?
Yeah.
Does he have like a name for his photos? Anything like that?
Ronnie James, I think, or Ronnie Antone.
What is that?
I know he has a couple of Instagrams.
It's on Instagram, yeah.
A few of them.
So Ronnie,
you should probably attach those in the info.
Yeah, I think I will. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Cool.
And good talking to you again, Sky.
Oh, my bad.
All right, I'm hitting the button.
Yeah.